Episode 187. Today we recap the Twins series and give you our players of the week. You're listening to the Bucko Banter podcast, brought to you by the Just Baseball Media Network. Cue the music.
Rockin' 101, shit, she compliment my taste. Whiskey in my lemonade, cause I like the way it tastes. Best seats at the Pirates, can they let me run the base? Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates. Order steak by the plate, send in case after case. Run my race at my pace, clear the grass of the snake.
Welcome back to another episode of Bucko Banner. We are officially at the midway point of the season. The Pirates ended it with a dub after a 8-game losing streak. So go out on a positive note. We got a lot to talk about because it's the All-Star weekend. We've got the draft. We've got the O'Neill Cruz participating in the Home Run Derby. It'll be an exciting week and a distraction from what has been the first half.
They are 39-58. They're 18.5 back from first. The Reds are 7.5 back.
And they're in fourth place.
They went into the road trip. Again, I said it last week. I said they needed to win at least 6 out of 9. They won 1. It was the last one. And as they're winning today, we're recording on Sunday, I'm thinking in my head, Ben Cherington is going to take this win and turn it into a told you. We're gonna go into the break and we're gonna recover. And if you squint hard enough, that team that won today 2-1, they're gonna make some noise in the second half.
I could see if you're like 7-8 games under 500 and you've been just battling and you just need to add a couple bats. Nope. There's 20 games, man. I mean, it's time to really think hard about how different this team is going to look going into the second half and prepare for next year, because it's been a disappointing first half of the season, and it almost makes me think, like, I don't want to say we told you so, but I feel like the last few seasons we started off hot, and you get a little bit of hope, and you're like, and the front office might be misled thinking, oh, we're just a piece or two away. We can compete with this pitching. But maybe taking a look at it from a positive view, this might be a good thing, so that the front office can take a hard look at like where we really are. Wishful thinking maybe, but we knew going into this season that offseason was a colossal failure, to say the least. And this team was not going to be good enough.
We said it last week. We said we love when they win. We're always rooting for them to win. But specifically on this road trip, when they're losing, I'm not upset. I'm not surprised. And I think it's the reality call that the front office needed after that 6-game winning streak, after they shut out the Cardinals at home, because that gave some type of false sense of hope. And I'm not going to lie, it made me feel good. Who doesn't feel good after a 6-game winning streak? Especially at this time of the year when you're heading into the break, you could potentially change the narrative slightly that the product in the field is just starting to pick up. But yes, I agree. They need to take a hard look in the mirror. Not only you have the draft tonight, you got to hit on that. You absolutely have to. The past 2 years in the first round, you've hit.
Yeah.
I guess Connor Griffin still, you don't know until you know, right? But as of right now, you hit. You have Paul Skeens, Connor Griffin. You got some pieces there. You have to hit this year. You have that window, 2027, 2028, where these guys are going to probably debut. What's it going to look like then? The guy that gets drafted tonight is going to be part of that class.
Absolutely. I think, I don't know if you watched the Futures game at all yesterday, a scary moment there with Connor Griffin for a second, but apparently he's fine. It seemed like a lot of people were very high on him. I mean, they mentioned Tim Hudson, like that's one of his favorite prospects, and he was the pitching coach on the National League side. I think it's fair to say that he's going to be a top 5, if not top prospect in all of baseball, maybe even as soon as next year. He's as high as number 2 on some lists. I think it was the Baseball America. So yeah, I mean, that was a great draft last year, and we'll get more into the draft stuff. We got a live stream coming up. We'll probably start after the first or second pick. Um, Prior to the Pirates pick at 6, we'll get into the whole draft stuff. Justin Horowitz is someone that we have a lot of confidence in. I think it's not a deep draft. All right, you probably heard that already. Not a deep draft, but I think there's opportunities for them to improve this organization, maybe just depth wise. I think, but that first round pick, you got to hit, and we'll see. I'll believe. I'll trust them until they give me a reason not to. That being said, man, it's just a bleak first half. It's crazy that the thing that I've been looking forward to the most over the past few weeks is that MLB draft.
100%. And I think more importantly is the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Because you're putting all of your faith right now still into Ben Cherington. You can't go into this trade deadline and say, hey, you know what? This year, it's a failure. We're going to cut our losses. We're going to go into next season, new front office, new manager, new start. You cannot do that. You have to capitalize on the assets that you have right now in order to set yourself up for next year. And you're telling Ben Cherington, who has historically had a terrible percentage when it comes to winning trades, to go out there and make the right moves. And that means getting the highest return for potentially a Mitch Keller, who we maybe saw his last game as a Pirate today.
Yeah.
We've said the past couple of times, but it's getting more realistic as time goes on and as more teams need pitching and will become more desperate.
I mean, the Red Sox are on a 9-game winning streak. I don't know what they did today, but they were, and they just lost another starting pitcher. And I'm looking at it comparing to past deadlines. Like, let's take the Jameson Taillon trade offer as an example, because I think that's probably was he traded at the deadline or in the offseason? He was the offseason.
I think he was offseason. I can't remember.
But a similar type of pitcher, if you think about it. I think Keller should garner a little bit more, but they missed on that trade. I mean, you got 4 prospects back, and you're like, wow, okay, one of these got to be someone, and none of them turned out to be anything. So you look at that as an example, and then I also see guys like David Bednar. I don't think his value will ever be higher than it is right now. He has recouped his value. We were afraid that they might have lost out on that from his all-star years, and we know that potentially a trade was offered in the past, and it was nixed. But I don't think this is a guy that you can really afford to lose out on that value anymore. Like, I think they need to act now. They're 39 and 58. Is that what you said? 39 and 58. Yeah. You don't need David Bednar on your roster. So you gotta maximize on your assets here. And I'd be really disappointed if they missed out on that one this offseason.
Worst case scenario. Let's look at it this way. If you don't have faith in Ben Cherington to move a core piece such as Mitch Keller, right? Or even a Brian Reynolds or a Ke'Bryan Hayes. I can't believe I'm bringing up that name in that category because it really shouldn't be a core, but just by circumstance, it is with what you're paying him. The relievers are where you capitalize because as we've seen year and year again, you can find high leverage guys. You can find guys that are going to get the job done. And teams are going to overpay significantly for bullpen help, specifically 7 through 9 inning guys. If you can't get a good return or a good enough return on a Mitch Keller, Brian Reynolds, anything for Ke'Bryan Hayes, really, focus on Bednar. Focus on Santana.
Focus on Ferguson is going to get you something. Ferguson, I'm telling you right now.
Those guys could get you maybe some bats that might be ready next year. Mm-hmm. Not saying it's going to be top end prospects, but you might be able to get more quantity. Not top quality, but you might be able to get more of a return than you usually would for guys that, in the grand scheme of things, aren't going to contribute to winning in Pittsburgh. And that's bullpen guys. It's always going to be bullpen guys. So if you want to keep that core in place with Mitch Keller and you like your arms and you don't think this is the right time, so be it. Focus on Santana, focus on Bednar, focus on Ferguson. You can move those guys. And the guys on 1-year deals, I would assume you need to move those guys just to get whatever you can because they're not coming back.
I mean, let's just look at Caleb Ferguson real quick. I'm using an example of a middle reliever being dealt. Colin Holderman from the Mets. Let's look at it from the Mets perspective. When they traded him, he was a middle reliever. They flipped him for a major league bat. Now, say what you want about Daniel Vogelback, but they traded him for a major league bat who was a DH for them for more than a season, right? So, I think Caleb Ferguson has a lot more pedigree than Colin Holderman had at that point in his career. I know we acquired Colin, and he did really well for a season and was thought of as a back end reliever, eighth inning guy. But Caleb Ferguson has been one of the best left-handed middle relievers in the game today. And a team is going to pay a premium at the deadline for a lefty who has been shut down. He can come in the sixth inning. He can come in many different situations, and he's not going to miss a ton of bats, but he's been as good as anyone from the left side this season.
100% agree. Want to get into some headlines real quick before we go into the games?
Yep, let's do
Cruz
it.
Suffered an injury. He did not play in Game 3 today. He pinch hit. Would you put him in the home run derby now? Like, do you think he's going to participate, or is it going to be a last minute? Like, hey,
what was the injury?
It's a lower leg injury, I believe.
Man, I don't know. I know he probably really wants to do it, and I guess I thought today, to be honest with you, I thought today was more like, hey, just take a rest and get ready for the derby, get ready to go down to Atlanta. Like, I didn't know.
They had no problem doing it with Skeens for the past two starts.
Yeah, exactly. So I would prefer him not to, but then again, Adam, like we're 39 and 58. I think I'd much rather watch him there. Someone made the argument, like, why are we limiting Skeen's innings? It's just like, you could see the argument of like, I think it's much more exciting to see him on the national stage in the All-Star game at this point, at this juncture. If this team was actually competing, I'd be like, what the hell are we doing? But like,
sure.
I'd love to see.
It's more so sad that's where we're
at. Is sad. It's extremely sad. But like, hey man, if we can get some national attention somehow, it'd be cool to see O'Neal Cruz go compete. He's hitting 204 or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. 100%. Gorski was DFA'd. Ryan Bruckey assigned to Indianapolis on a rehab assignment. Yohan Ramirez was selected from Indianapolis. You saw him get some time in Minnesota. Yeah, he looked very good. Jared Triolo, our BABIP king, Jared Triolo, option to Indianapolis. Ben Cherington said that Triolo is part of the plans. So funny, dude. I love Jared. Jared's the man. He's so cool. He's been nice to us. Great guy. Amazing glove. If we're at the point where you're saying Jared Triolo is part of the plans, like, show us a little bit of respect, right?
Yeah. It is. It's a little bit ridiculous, but again, like, there's obviously a lot to dream on there. But like, do you trust on the Pirates to develop that bat? Because if you develop the bat and he's league average, he's an all-star potentially.
Sure.
So it's sad to see Triolo go down, but Yohan Ramirez, this is not his first stint with the Pirates. I mean,
no.
He left the Pirates for the Dodgers. He had some time in the playoffs. Like, his stuff moves crazy east to west. A lot of movement, can miss bats. So intriguing bullpen arm. Another headline I want to bring up around Paul Skeens. A couple things. Reached 300 career Ks in only his 43rd career start. He's one of 17 MLB pitchers all time to reach that milestone that quickly. That's almost 7 Ks per start. I think it comes out to like 6.9. It's pretty ridiculous. And he's also was named the starter for in the All-Star game again. He's the first pitcher ever and one of 5 MLB players ever to start the All-Star game in each of his first 2 big league seasons. Zach Wheeler, obviously not opting out, made that. It was pretty obvious that he was going to be the starter after that. But hey, man, again, it's pretty cool to see O'Neal and Paul representing Pittsburgh on the national stage. As sad as it can be, too, I'm going to enjoy watching it.
100%. Before we go any further, make sure you go to Total Sports Enterprises for all your Pittsburgh sports memorabilia needs. TSCshop.com for Pirates, Penguins, Steelers, anything you want. Total Sports Enterprises has you covered. Go in the description below. Click the link to let them know Bucko Banter sent you. And this episode is also brought to you by Tom's Tents. Scott, it's been raining every day in Pittsburgh.
And it's very humid too, but yeah.
So you want to block out the sun. You obviously don't want to get wet when you're throwing an event that you most likely spent a lot of money on in terms of just planning, everything like that. But you know where you go when you have an event that you care about, you want people to be comfortable, you want people to be happy, and you don't want to break the bank, you go to Tom's Tents. That's Tom's Tents, PGH.com for all of your tents needs. I call Tom. Answers on
It
the
barely
phone.
rings. It barely rings. You call one of the big tent companies, you're on hold. You get sent to the assistant or whatever. Tom, it's very personalized. Go right to Tom and he'll answer right away.
100%. Go to Tom's Tents, PGH.com. Tom's Tents has you covered. Scott, let's get into Friday versus the Twins. 2-1 L. Paul Skeens was on the mound. Plus 120 odds on the sports books for Skeens because they know they're not scoring runs for him. And what a sucker play it was because they didn't win again. Skeens, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned, no walks, 6 Ks. He's got a 2.01 ERA going into the break. 53 strikes on 78 pitches. Gave up a home run to Larnach in the fourth, a 2-run bomb. That was it. 40% on the four seam, the changeup heavy on lefties, 60% out of the zone swing rate on that. He looked good all throughout the first half. You saw a little bit more shakiness at times in terms of control, but overall, I mean, they just didn't score runs for him. The record is atrocious because of this offense. It's truly ridiculous how he's been looked at in terms of just a win-loss with the numbers and the work that he's put up this offseason or this first half. And then Carmen Majinski gave us 3 innings, 2 hits, 4 Ks. The offense, IKF had a double and an RBI. Horowitz with 2 hits. As a team, 9 Ks, 2 walks, 8 hits, 1 for 8 runners in scoring position, 8 left on base. Cruz had his 29th stolen bag of the year. Obviously, he's going to get more than 30 on the year. Pretty much it for game 1. No offense.
Yeah, game 2, more of the same. Bigger loss, though, 12-4. Mike Burrows, not his best start. 1 1/3, 5 hits, 6 earned, 3 walks, and 1 K. ERA went up to 4.83. Genesis Cabrera, 1 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned, 1 walk, 1 K. Ramirez looked good, though. He went 2 innings, 1 hit, no earned, 4 Ks, 5 whiffs in those 2 innings. Andrew Heaney came in relief. That looks more like, hey, let's get some work in before the All-Star break. 2 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned, 3 homers. ERA up to 4.59. Bednar looked good again, 1 inning, 1 hit, no earned. Jack Swinski, 1 for 4 with his first Major League homer of the year. He's at 120 batting average. Joey Bart, 2 for 4 with a double and RBI. I feel like I haven't seen him get an extra base hit in forever. Nicky G was 1 for 4 with an RBI, 6 hits total, 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position, 6 left on base, 7 Ks. And this was the Byron Buxton game. He hit for the cycle. It's funny, Colin Beasley tweeted, or did he text us? He said, here comes the Buxton cycle after he had a triple in the first. I was like, okay. He ended up getting the cycle pretty easily. Not easily, but he was like, what, it was 5 for 5? Like, pretty crazy game for him.
The Sawinski home run, it was when they were down, 9-0, and it brought it to 9-1. It reminded me.
Paul meme.
That's what I was going to say. It reminded me of the meme. Paul hits a 3 to bring the lead down to 43 or something like that.
Yeah.
Unreal. We're on the same page here. Sunday, they won 2-1. Mitch Keller, a dog again. I wanted to wear my Money Mitch Bucko banter shirt today just because he's been absolutely nails. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 3 Ks. His ERA heading into the break is 3.48. 7 consecutive road quality starts, Scott, without a win. 7. Crazy. Oh. The bullpen, Ferguson, 1 inning, 1 K. Santana, 1 inning, 2 hits. Bednar, 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 K. The curve for a strike was
that was disgusting. The one he got Royce Lewis.
Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God. On a 3-2 count, too. Also just pumping 98 at the bottom of the zone. Unhittable. Just unreal how he's turned it around. The offense, Tommy Pham has continued to stay hot, had his 4th home run on the year, 4 in his last 14 games after not hitting one the entire season. As a team, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 10 hits, 1 for 8 runners in scoring position, 9 left on base. They had a lot of opportunities to score in this game. They had bases loaded in the second inning, couldn't get anything done. Lucky that Brooksley couldn't get the ball out of his glove. That was an easy double play. Spencer Horwitz hit it 106 miles per hour. They had all the time in the world. I looked like it might have gotten stuck in the webbing of his glove because he was messing with the laces, which I know just infielders do generally. But man, really lucked out there. And then, as I mentioned, Bednar came in and shut the door. So you won. You got it. You got in the victory column. Are we excited about it? Not really.
I don't really have any thoughts, to be honest with you. It is what it is. 2-1. Like,
did we curse the team?
We might have, man. We might have. We
went to Seattle. We thought we were doing a good thing.
Yeah.
And then just absolute nothingness.
We were screaming, "Don't let the Buccos get hot," and I don't think I'll say that for the rest of the season. To be honest with you,
what are the over/under of you saying that immediately when you step into PNC Park
when they play the White Sox? Yeah, I will say it like within the first hour. So
they're going to sweep the White Sox.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Ben's going to rethink trading Mitch Keller, and it'll be a good time. So they're going to be home for the next week and a half almost. I mean, you got 2 weekend series, White Sox, Diamondbacks. Who do they have in between there? They got Tigers are in town. That'll be a good one. So a lot of home baseball coming up at PNC Park after they're on the road for a while. Before we close out here, let's do the players of the week, Adam. I'll get us kicked off with the pitcher. Mitch Keller, 2 starts this week, 2 quality starts, 12 2/3, 8 hits, 3 earned, 1 walk, 8 Ks. Money Mitch, man. That's all I got to say there.
And then our hitter of the week for what I believe is the second week in a row is Thomas Pham. In his last 7 games, Scott, he's hitting .409, .458 with a .773 slug. He's got 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, only 4 strikeouts, 9 hits, 22 at-bats. This is just classic prime Tommy Pham.
They were showing him playing rock, paper, scissors with fans, and I was like, he loves doing hand gestures at the crowd. Like, it's just Tommy, man. He likes to interact. And for a second, I thought he was doing something else. That's where my mind goes with him. But he's a man of the people. He really is.
Do you think there's any traction for Tommy Pham on the trade market now?
I mean, there's got to be more than there was, whether that's one team or what. Like, there definitely is more than 0, I would think. I don't think there's no interest, but teams looking to add just another bat. A 4th outfielder, probably. No one's gonna pick him up to start, but I don't know. He's definitely helping his case.
I'd be genuinely sad if we trade Tommy Pham. I love watching Tommy Pham take ground balls before the game.
At this juncture of the season, just for our entertainment, I'd be sad too.
We'll see what happens. We got the MLB draft coming up tonight. We're about to go live on Twitter and on
probably
YouTube.
Like an hour.
In an hour.
Well, this doesn't matter us saying an hour because this is coming out tomorrow. So,
we're going to wrap it up. We'll see what the Pirates take. And then I'm sure we'll have an episode later this week kind of breaking down all of the picks. So we'll see you then. Till next time, raise it.
Raise it. Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates, or the steak by the plates. And